something special for the WGGGMBUCC. It's a lyrical sculpture in the sand that I carve. This is Flash on the mic, now on the Algarve. From 40 to 60, we are on the attack. If I can just get some vitamin I from my back foot on the line, yeah, I'm ready to go. Or did I just pull a muscle? Hold on for a moment. Play it cool, just act like I'm young. Got flicks on my wrist and lyrics on my tongue. 10 more years left to go. Tricks from the past and a buttery flow. A little slow off the start, I like to call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. I got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Yeah, I got some dodgy knees. Disc in my hand and the sun in the sky. My dad bod goes jiggle and my hucks they fly. The spirits are rising like a disc on the breeze, going miles out of bounds to the Portuguese seas. I played a point, yeah, I need a sub and a good long soak in an XL tub. Don't need to run anymore, I'm one of 14 handlers. Happy Gilmore this disc like we're all Adam Sandlers. I'm slow off the start, I like to call it brisk. The sunshine glints on my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. We got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Alright, let's finish this off. My 6'2" still works in the bar. I can see from miles. Got drinks on my radar. Port Mile party is the place we flee for the friends we see and these great memories. Yeah, I feel the spirit as I pull every sinew. Shatter my knees, yet we're gonna continue. Take this hand, better yet carry me from the beach to the bar, better yet to the sea. I'm slow off the start. I like to call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between our toes. We got none of the pivots, but all of the throws.
Welcome to Sardinia, the host site of WGGMBUCC on the beaches of Villasemius. We're into another round of quarterfinals. Spangled, the Americans, taking on Hurt from their neighbors to the north, the Canadians. I'm Stefan Rapazzo alongside John Doc to bring you the action. Doc, we haven't seen Spangled yet, defending champs. Canadians got bounced by Notsuo yesterday. Sets up a nice one here. You got to think Spangled are the favorites, but they didn't have a great finish yesterday.
Well, I haven't seen them yet, and they were the one team that I was told team potential to win. I went down to watch the last 4 points of their game yesterday. Worst team I've seen at the tournament so far. They got scored on every point and broken every point, but it was against another American team, so I think maybe I'm bad luck for them, or else they just had a very temporary lapse of concentration in a key moment. And if you're going to win the tournament, the time to have your bad game is the game to just decide who's actually the top seed and who's the fourth seed. So perhaps if they were going to have a bad game and learn some lessons, it couldn't have happened at a better time. Probably the worst time for Hurt as well to have to face them is after they've had after Spangled have had a game like that where they've had time to relock it, refocus, get everything together, and potentially come out and deal some hurt to Hurt.
We saw Hurt yesterday. They did suffer the loss, but did have some great play, particularly Louisa Chewy rather, was sensational. Big highlight clip catching the scuba, the layout bid she had, so that certainly one we'll keep our eye on the other side to see what damage can be inflicted on these defending champions.
Yeah, and the last two games here, Universe, both games had basically everything.
Would you take another one?
I would be. This one I would think it's much less likely. I think we both thought the first two games were very even, and this one, it could be tougher. I think the Canadians, their only chances here is that it's windy and if they have a throwing skill advantage, but they're up against an American team, so it's just, you feel this one's not going to be Universe. Unless Spangles didn't recover from the last 10 minutes of not being able to play Ultimate yesterday.
Yes. We'll see. All that's coming up right now. The first pull goes right out of bounds, so Spangled will start from the brick mark as we are now into play. First throw Bounces to the sideline. Stern gets a layout bid to keep that alive. Russ Fur, and back to Stern. Stern to Fur once more. And Fur from the sideline leads, and it's too low. That is a first point turnover. No chance to get there for Nichols.
4 0 points in a row now I've seen with Spangled unable to score in a row. Hopefully they don't take it too personally when they listen back to this. Just a bit of joking. I'm sure they're capable of getting the job done.
Clay for Hurt. Fires into the middle for Harnett. Harnett gives through Hill, and then the deep shot from Nichols, and it is just beyond. And back to Rocky Beach and Spangled. His throw fakes get a dive. And the next under, Salvia floats one up. That's going to work. And Alan Nichols runs under it for the Spangled goal.
That throw was, again, I know I say it so much, but it's probably just because of the quality of the players. The way she threw that flick and got it to come down was not easy to do. It did not seem like a high release flick, but it was kind of a high one that was thrown over the hand of the defender at the last minute and just set down perfectly. That was perfect throw. You couldn't ask for a better throw there in that exact situation, given all the factors. And
hats off to Samantha Salvia. Beautiful forehand to open up the scoring for Spangled. A good morning to all you watching. If you're watching from the other side of the pond, it's very early for you. Make sure in any sense you're hitting that like button, subscribing, and go ahead and hit that join button and be a YouTube member with us here on ULTI.TV.
It's almost time for me to pull out the shades again. It's getting to that stage of brightness again. I'm in the shade, but it's not enough.
The pull from Stone. And Knowles finds Kwok on the under. Oh, and a foul called. A foul is called. There was some racing by Spangled to get it going, but an accepted foul on the throw. It'll go back to Kwok. Oh, it contested, not accepted.
Wonder what the average contested to uncontested is on Canadian versus US teams in quarterfinals onward stages of Ultimate tournaments.
Kwok goes back to Knowles. Yearsley. And Knowles testing the mark. Tries the deep shot. Yearsley's there and in for the goal. Knowles hits Yearsley, and Hurt respond with a goal.
Yeah, another great throw there. Have to put a nice little bit of outside in on that to get it to spin into what's the easiest corner of the field to get the disc to, but probably the hardest one to throw a completion to. So 2 great throws there now into that corner on the last point. And again, like I said, with the quality of the players on here, I would imagine the majority of points are likely to end up in that end zone, in that side of the end zone also.
Yearsley, the 54-year-old out of Kingston. Experience with Hurt, King Bear, locals, 613, Tombstone, and a team I once played a tiny little bit for with Ian Brooks, BMF. Any idea on the acronym there? BMF.
I mean, I could guess, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say what my guesses would be on the stream.
Let's not go with what MF might conjure up, but it was the Bombing Mad Fatties.
That's probably worse. Nah, mine wouldn't have been allowed to be said, but
pull, hits and rolls, picked up by Arlie Stern. and defer. Beach tests the mark, and Watanabe jumps on it. Beach sends deep, but too much on it. Too much for Nichols, and Hurt are going to get a chance to break on the second offensive point for Spangled as well.
Like I said, that's going to be the action corner. If you can get your throws consistent and well weighted into that corner, you're going to score hooks. If you can't, we're probably not going to see too many hook completions on this game otherwise, even with the quality of the players. As the wind died down maybe a tiny bit, for these players it's not as windy now, but I think it just dropped now, so good opportunity here for Hurt to maybe take advantage of that quick drop in the wind. No doubt it will pick up as soon as the stall starts.
Watanabe winds up the huck, now tries to get around and does. Only just.
A little push on the throw.
Graham Hill and Paskovich catches in traffic. Leads Watanabe, but that's into the commentary booth. And Beach picks up quick. Runs it to the line, defer up the line. Rocky Beach goes around Salvia and into the corner for Nichols. And that is the same two connecting for the second Spangled goal. Salvia to Nichols, part 2.
Pretty intense defense here right in front of us. We almost had a couple of men jumping up on our laps. It was just out of reach, and bodies hitting the floor. Intense game, as you'd expect between teams at this stage. This much history in the teams. Imagine they went to war in previous seasons with each other, previous years, previous decades, previous millennia, maybe they 25 years ago.
Oh yeah,
6 years ago. Yeah,
there's definitely been some hitouts in the 1900s between people on this field.
80s or 90s.
Well,
maybe.
Who knows? Maybe 80s. Likely 80s. They'll go back that far.
Yeah. Sport only started in the 60s, right?
Yeah, 68,
something like that. So
yeah, Maplewood, New Jersey. Back to the beginning.
So maybe if we get someone from young legends on a stream tomorrow, we might actually find someone who maybe he would have played in one of the first ever Ultimate tournaments. You never know.
Oh, there's definitely a lot that have played in the first ever World Championship in '83 in Gothenburg. And Zimmeral goes to Knowles. Knowles goes around with a backhand to Yearsley. Yearsley straight back to Knowles. Zimmeral opens the arms and now gets it. Kwok. Uh-oh, too high and taken away. Picked off, given back, and Hartwigger throws high. Fry on the doorstep. Fry shoots forward and nothing doing at the back of the end zone. That one's given away.
Yeah, it's very slow bringing this one back in here. Teammates, I think they were a little frustrated on the dump option. One of our dump teammates thought maybe look at me, but another chance for Hurt here.
Kwok bumping off the mark of Fry and just right into the defense. Taken away, Hartwigger to Fry. Monahan, the Zono, and Hartwigger again, the D-getter. Spangled, shot for goal into the hands of Fry. That's a break. And Spangled go up 3-1.
Yeah, Hurt there just struggling a little bit on their options, and just that dump throw right in front of us. It was just telegraphed by the defender, and not even telegraphed, almost just thrown straight into the American defender. So I think Hurt are going to need to cut some of those kind of turnovers out, because that dump throw that they did throw is just, there was just almost no way it was getting there. The defender was already there, And if Hurt are going to want to try and keep this one close or have any chance of winning this, they're going to need to do a little bit better in those situations, engaging their dumps more clearly. And yeah, it's just a tough one. Like we said, Spangled, the winners last year. Yesterday they were pretty much in control until suddenly they just weren't. So potentially still the best team here, maybe just not the best results. Hurt yesterday had a universe point win they had against Solid Gold, who is a team that had a universe point win against a team that came bottom of the group. So if you were to try and draw Hurt's results back to the weakest team they've played, they potentially only would have beaten one of the lower teams in a group by 1 or 2 points. But they are here, they are in a quarter-final, so if they bring their best game now, it would be the best time to have it, and they will probably need it if they're going to try and get the win here.
A well-caught pull by Viao. Frame to Viao, and now Nichols to List. List gives the backhand huck, and Nichols plucks it and then falls over the defender. Shaking, and oh, the bobble! And that's gonna go the other way. It was there for the taking. Naras goes back. Kale to Felstad and Girari. The high release backhand, Felstad to Naras, and another sitter given straight back to Hurt. List.
Great throw.
Beautiful forehand to the far side, and then a floater. Frame, and he can't get there. Girari gets a touch and a D from behind.
That was one of the more unlikely Ds you'll see at this tournament. He had the position as well. I think just the wind just didn't help him.
And Girari, that throw didn't rotate. Kale can't get there. He curses. List picks up and is in front of the end zone. To Frame, right back to List. List gives the backhand and off a hand again.
I understand here this situation is absolute chaos, but I think if you're Hurt, even though it's your O-line out there, this is potentially the exact kind of game you want to see where teams are just struggling. Now, what they would be hoping is that maybe the Spangled O-line starts to play the same way that their D-line is playing. Looks like she might be injured there. I didn't realize that. Hopefully she's okay. They're going to need all their players, but the game being an absolute mess at the moment, it can be expected in these conditions, but it's probably good news for Hurt. It's just not good news that it's their O-line that's on the field against the Spangled D-line right now.
It is not their starting O-line because they got broken the point before.
So potentially
But
D-line
yes,
versus D-line here.
It could be, or it's like their, second O-line or their crossover.
Either way, situations
Yes.
where multiple players on multiple teams are swearing themselves out for mistakes, that kind of game suits Hurt more.
Knapp offering the tap in, and he goes to Kale and then Girari. Knapp opens up and sends deep. Felstad, but he's not gonna get there.
Unusual technique on the throw, but it almost got the job done. He kind of almost stepped backwards and just leaned his shoulders over. I think if he stepped out, but again, the throw technically flew well in the wind, so maybe he just needs to get a little more spin on it. And other than that, his receiver, I thought for a moment had a chance, but just a little bit too far. But again, another turn, and like I said, if you're Hurt and you just want chaotic points, you just want a thing where it's just we're both going to get multiple chances, and the first person to just string 3 good passes together, or the first team, is probably going to be the one that gets the score. And it is a downwind as well, more for scrambled, so that another sign that favours them. And
List fires the forehand from his own line, and it doesn't have enough under it. Hits the sand. Does cross half, and Spangled will pick up again. It'll be Knapp and Kale in the handler space. Knapp has a good look before he picks up and gets some crossing patterns. Felstat offers on the break side. Leads to Kale. He catches on the hip. Gerari. And Kale wanted it back, but the throwing lane closed. Knapp quick to Felstat. And he lands in the corner of the end zone. And that grinder is another break. And making it 4-1 is a pretty big separation for these hard-fought last couple.
Yeah, 4-1 there is a big one. I know a set of messy points suits Hurt there, but
they got to get the finish on the messy point.
They got to take an advantage of one of those. I lost count of how many chances they had. I would say it was maybe 4 or 5 potential chances in that point, and they were unable to capitalize on any of them. And I mean, it was upwind, so you could say it's not so bad. And if you said it was their potential D-line, but they really have to come out and score this one. Otherwise, I can't see a situation where they're going to come back here if Spangled were to score this one. We'll try and get some updates from the other field as well. Try and get you some of those score updates. It's currently Sunset Crew is the Swiss team, and they're playing Natsuo. It's 3-2 to Natsuo. So again, depending on who's starting offense, Sunset Crew keeping that one close at the start.
Hurt on the pickup, Zimmeral. To Knowles. And Zimmeral to Knowles again. Yearsley involved. Back to Zimmeral. Leads low, Knowles gets down. Travel called on the Zimmeral throw. All right. If you say so. Here it is again. Oh, that's a tough call on the beach. I mean, the ground literally moves beneath you. Monahan with a very interesting call there.
Interesting. Good choice of words.
you know what I mean when I say that, don't you? And Chewy has it flip over in the hands and then go to ground, picked up by Hartwigger. To Monahan. Back again, Hartwigger. To Dono. Monahan. Fry. Thought about going early to Wang, but goes to the dump space. Hartwigger to Monahan like they were in each other's heads. The throw as soon as the turn. Hartwigger shoots. Fry collects. And Spangled look like they are bouncing back after yesterday's disappointing finish.
Yeah, I thought there was a chance we could see something like this. You never want to play a top team after they come off a disappointing defeat. Usually you want to catch them when they're on a good run, and Hurt just running into Spangled here at the wrong time and not able to take advantage of some of the opportunities they got in the last point. And you get the feeling here that this is going to be maybe one-way traffic for the rest of this game, and it looks like a timeout's been taken here anyway. So I think we're going to have a opportunity here to take a little break. So we'll come back in a minute after the timeout.
I'm Steph Pazzo, and I must eat.
sometimes commentator, sometimes food eater. On my ultimate travels in 2023, I sampled culinary classics from all across Europe.
Oh, wow.
Guided by some of your favorite ultimate players.
That's the Dutch hospitality for you right there.
I'll give you an insight into the secret spots that only the locals know of.
Are these the best schnitzels in Vienna?
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course. Go find Steph Pazzo on YouTube. Like and subscribe and follow the European Ultimate Must-Eat series. We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
Oh my God, how they do it! Oh my goodness. That is unbelievable. And created the tip and made for it.
That was absolutely incredible.
5-1, Spangled up over Hurt. Hurt took the timeout. They've been close. They scored on their first possession and have failed since. Have they worked out the plan? That's what we'll be watching to see. Halftime will be finish this point and +1 will be halftime. Mike List. Stall count mounts, he lasers, he's got Paskovich. Low throw, can't get the incoming Hartnett. Now Jolly picks up and goes to Stone quick. Jolly with a fresh-shaped hawk. Girari to Stone, Stone to Felstadt, and Stone again, quickly gone the other way. Spangled break. Once again, that's 6-1. They are en fuego. A scintillating bit of action once they got the disc back. Hurt letting themselves down after a great upwind throw. List got it upfield. The ensuing throw into sand. And the half should be at 7. The half is, in fact, not should be. I was partially responding to a player question there as the beach revelers get lots of sun. Beautiful day, as many of them have been here in Sardinia. It's a great day, a great moment for you to hit that like button. Make sure you're well and truly subscribed with us here at ULTI.TV. And go ahead and join. Become a member. Give a little bit more. Get a little bit more. As Spangled. Now, Spangled did lose to Chicken Packs yesterday, and what that does do is put them on the same side of the bracket as Notsuo, a long heated rivalry. So by my estimation, the tougher side of the bracket, we already know that it's Finland and Chicken Packs on one side. This side, the way things are looking now, is going to be Spangled with a 6-1 lead. Notsuo and Sunset Crew locked up at 3 now. So who am I to say? Yearsley comes under. Zimmeral. And I think a foul called there. It is, and it's accepted. Russ Fur accepts. Zimmeral to Knowles. Knowles leads forward. Has Clay. Clay to Knowles. Knowles for Zimmeral. He tests with a backhand. Now fires. Clay is there. And Hurt are finally back on the board. 2-6, extending first half play. Here's another look at the finish. A dart from center into the front cone. So, players working out that halftime will be extended if Hurt can continue to score. 6-2, Hurt back on the board. That's the good news for all those Canadians out there following along, and for Hurt themselves, of course. Feel free to let us know in the chat where you're watching from, who you're cheering for, what you think of Doc's commentary. Okay, you can let me know what you think of mine too.
I think they'd have enjoyed my last couple of minutes there.
You're on screen. Doc was setting up our screen there, so that's why he went silent.
Something tells me it's going to be 5 minutes of time setting it up, and it's going to last about 2 minutes. We'll see though. Guess the momentum hasn't shifted since I left anyway, or since I took 2 steps away from our current position. But
yeah, you didn't really go too far. And a big pull. Time for a Harnett rundown. Beach picks up. Beach to Fur. Fur leads to Nichols. Nichols waiting for an option, moves away from Beach now, finds him. They retreat about 10 meters on it. Fired throw, Stern gives it quickly to Nichols. Now Salvia back to Stern. Stern with the high release. Salvia and can't quite get there. Floats too far in front. And the wind gets more of it than anticipated.
Hurt going to get what feels like a very rare break opportunity here since that crazy point a while ago, and the wind, I'd say the wind has died. It's not the strongest wind we've had today. It's a wind where you can get it there in 2 good throws, but not one. I don't think it can get there in 1 throw.
Watanabe to Hill, and then under for Viao. Hill to Viao. And Hill again. Hill leads Paskovich, the intent, and Nichols bids, and a foul's called there. It was a good looking bid.
Yeah, it seems uncontested. Players happy to get back into it straight away.
Back into play.
Just a drop, unfortunate drop there on the reset backwards, and Scramble's going to get it. Spangled's going to get another chance here.
Stern chucks up line, and Watanabe intercepts in the lane and then throws and finds Paskovich. And that is another break for Hurt, and half will be extended further.
Yeah, and again, just one of those kind of messy points. And it's like I said, I think the best case scenario for her to try and come back in this game is not to get one turn off the O-line and score your breaks every time. It's to see consistent turns out of the Spangled O-line, showing that you might get multiple chances for the rest of the game. I don't think it's necessarily how good their D-line offense is going to be. I think it's more a case of, is the Spangled offense just going to give them enough chances? And from a couple of points ago and this point here, they are getting those opportunities, and if they're going to keep giving them the opportunities, like Hurt are eventually going to capitalize them, and they did on this one. And that was again, the wind kind of blowing more towards us. It slightly favors Hurt for this point. It's slightly a left to right wind, but it's mostly straight in our face. Players here under no rush whatsoever to get this point back underway. I think they both understand the significance of this point. It is 6-3, but we've had a bigger comeback today, and a seemingly less likely one, I would say, based on how this has looked so far.
That mixed versus blue zone game. Go back and watch either of the two games from this morning. They were both scorchers.
Yeah.
Monahan, Mr. Teal, so the back of his shirt says. I suppose he's got a favorite color.
Do you think he just comes out of the ocean like that in the morning, just dressed in his ocean
Painted
gear?
teal.
Yeah.
He's a merman. And low throw. Is there a call there? Yes, there is. Frame.
Definitely a loud smack. I could hear that one. There was enough contact. Uncontested.
Back again, Monahan to Fry. Now the other way to Taylor. Taylor, high release, looking for Hartwiger. Hartwiger has a draped defense and still comes down with it. Turns to the corner, hits, and Fry seems to be everywhere when required. That is finally a half taker. 7-3. Spangled lead into the break.
Yeah, a little unfortunate for the defender there. It was kind of a weird looking throw, but it got the job done. The hockey assist, defender unable to get up over it. And yeah, like you said, that's half. Gonna take a lot for Hurt to come back in the second half of this one, I think now.
Everything they're worth, we'll see how much that is worth when we're back after these short run of messages from the wonderful people behind Ultimate. We'll see you in that second half.
I worked for a Michelin star chef making gelato in Paris. I had my own restaurant in Nicaragua and a food truck in Australia. Why wouldn't you watch me? Check out my YouTube channel.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my God! Somehow they do it!
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Oh my goodness! That is unbelievable! And traded the net and made for it! That was
7-3 the score. Second half action about to resume. About to begin the second half action. Spangled all over Hurt in the first. A little bit of life from Hurt right before the half to extend, but it has been Spangled having their way. I'm Stefan Rapazzo alongside John Doc to bring the action. Doc, do you like Hurt's chances here in the second?
They're in a very difficult situation because I think Spangled potentially had a bad half by their standards, maybe. And that makes me think that it's hard to see Hurt coming back being more than double score down. So, don't really like their chances, but I think they were less likely to win this than a game I've already seen on the stream where another team came back and won. Maybe similar. So I'm not going to write off their chances based on what we've seen today, but it would be two of the most unlikely comebacks I'd have witnessed. Both happening right beside each other, so let's say unlikely, but not impossible.
Zimmeral for Hurt. Yearsley. And Yearsley sends deep, but too deep for Kwok. And Spangled will take over. Jolly on his way to the disc.
Yeah, not what you want to hear from Hurt, but again, this corner where the disc's going to end up a lot. The toughest corner to score from. They're going to need to get a block here and get a score on this one. If Spangled are able to go upwind here on the first point out of half, then I'm going to say it's as close to impossible as I would give a game be.
Goodness gracious, Kale gets the bail out there. Now Jolly. And too high for Stone. Knowles goes back to Yearsley. He motions with the offhand, then gives to Zimmeral. Zimmeral pops to Tui. And back to Zimmeral. A little fake, and then we've got some contact in the stack. I think it's between Kale and Yearsley. And tapped in. Zimmeral goes quick to Tui. Now Zimmeral on the line. Right in the end zone corner. Shakes, hits, and Kwok is there for the goal. Hurt. Put another one on and make it 4-7 to start the second half.
Yeah, less than double digits down now in the sense Spangled don't have twice their score anymore, and I like I said, I think they had to get that one. If they didn't get that one, I think it would have been lights out, but doing this one, they keep themselves alive, give themselves another chance to try and take advantage. Not much time left, but as much as I think like it's hard to get a comeback in that much time, I don't think the time is the factor. It's just a case of, is the Spangled going to just play well, or is it going to give them chances? And it doesn't really matter. It's going to be a couple of points in a row one way or another, and it has to start kind of happening now.
Yeah, I think the biggest misconception for fans and players alike is that you got to get it done quick. There is a time cap, but really, like, if you can hold your mental capacity, and yes, you got to go on a run, you have to seemingly be perfect, but the time will keep going if you keep breaking.
Exactly.
That goes straight out, so a brick.
I don't think this 0 point, if they score this one, I don't think it's over, but I think if after this they get a break or they score another 0 point, I think that would be out of reach. So I won't say this one is the decisive one, but if they were to score this one, another score after this would be decisive. I think if they get to 9, I think it might be too much.
Stern to Fur. Beach stays in the backfield, and low throw for Stern. Collected. Stern waits till Beach makes a move in the backfield, then hits Salvia just beyond the bidding defense. Salvia sends, it's high and floaty, and Fur is right under it. That is at least the second of such that Salvia has sent half-pitch forehands to that corner that have been absolutely spot on.
Yeah, fantastic throw. Another one into that corner. Like I said, that was going to be the corner where all the big throws were going to be going. And like I said, I think if Spangled can get to 9 points, I think that's basically game over. I mean, if they score this one, they still have to get to 10. But I think if they hit that 9 point, there's just Hurt just aren't coming back. So I think if Hurt are going to do it, now they have to just go on an amazing run.
8-4, double up score. Approximately 6 minutes before the end of game horn will sound.
I think after this one we'll have a bit of an extended break, won't we? There'll be a couple of rounds off. We won't be back for
not till 3 o'clock local
3,
time,
and then that'll be a kind of a lower bracket game just to get us back underway before we have our 2 semi-finals to finish the day. I believe that's our streaming schedule for the rest of the day. So
that's exactly it. We know the 4:15 game will be Chicken Packs versus Finland. The 5:30 game still to be decided. Kwok. Oh, tries to go around. Fry flails the arm, and a foul being discussed.
It was a close one. Those ones are always tricky when the defender's hand is there and you're saying, well, I wanted to throw it, but your hand was there. So
I thought we were maybe going to get another look. Here it is. Ooh. Was it still in the hand, basically, is the question.
Yeah. And even on those ones, even when that's the case, I mean, I'm not on about if the player's right or wrong here. I'm on about just a rule in general. I just don't like that one where you try to throw it where they already are. You get hit because they're like moving, and then you get it back.
Yeah, you weren't statue still.
Yeah, I don't like that. I just feel if you're trying to throw it, I always say if I had let the disc go a second earlier, but with the same line.
Fired to the end zone. Kwok can't get there, as Zimmeral's throw goes out the back.
Yeah, getting a chance, in my opinion, to end it here essentially, but just on that last one, I just feel like if you're throwing it where their hand is and you're calling the foul, it is the rule, but it's just one of those rules I don't like. If I'd say to myself, imagine I let go of the disc sooner. Was your hand already there, and would it have hit it? And if it's yes, then
I mean, I hear you. I do think that Fry had a little bit of a flailing arm, so she wasn't like statue still, and that is the difference. But you're right, she was in very good position to have that block based on where Kwok decided to throw. Dojono goes back to Hartwigger. And then Fry again. Nia comes under. He's quick to Hartwigger. Hartwigger goes to Taylor. Taylor to Fry. Fry takes a pop pass from Dozono. And Hartwigger goes deep. Nia the target. Peter Nia there for the goal to stretch it to 9-4. The brains behind Spangled, the captain of the team, Mr. Lightspeed himself, is there catching goals and contributing as Spangled get 9 on the board.
Yeah, for me that's the number. That's it. There's just no way. I wasn't even factoring in how little time was left when I was saying 9 would be the winner.
Favorite.
To me, if you're obviously you don't want to tune away from us, we want to keep you viewing. But
they're so sweet. I love them.
For me,
it shouldn't be.
Just a bit of a temporary moment there. We weren't sure. maybe my silence was okay because I think you were. Yeah, like I was saying, I think the other semi maybe still one to fight for, but over here I feel this one's somewhat decided. Obviously, don't tune out. Stay tuned to the end of the game. You never know. You don't want to miss a big comeback, but for me, this one is somewhat decided, and I think we're going to be looking forward to seeing who Spangled are going to be playing in their later game. We'll try and get you a little update on that if we can now. Looks like it's going to be Natsuo, which that has the potential to be game of the tournament. I mean, in terms of high-level teams game of the tournament, it has the potential to be as good as any final we might get. We've had some amazing games today, but we'll see how the rest of this one plays out. So
Mike List will bring the disc to the line.
yeah, let's see if they can get this one on the board. I mean, I said essentially impossible. I didn't say actually impossible, so still going to give them the slightest of slight chances. Less than 1%.
Gets the under to the far sideline. Nichols takes a bump.
It's gone up to 2% now. He felt he had to give him that bump to make sure they didn't score. Shows he's still...
Cheery. Quickly to the corner. Harnett to List. List with the inside backhand. Great seam. Finds Nichols for the goal. 9-5. What a way to make a living.
I'd say they're on 5. I say we maybe push it up to 5% now. That's been a little generous, but hey, they got to get some blocks now. If they're going to win this, they're going to have to get all the breaks now. I think I can't see the time in front of me at the moment, but I believe time's probably going to be going during this point. There did not seem to be much time left.
The great throw by List, as you see it again there. And there's the time there for you now. So
Does seem to be time over during that. If our time is to the second correct, I imagine it would be time over, finish at 1.
So we're going to finish the next point and add 1 is what I've gathered from scorekeeper and sideline conversation.
So we're going to say it's going to be a game to 10 if we want the last few minutes of this to be interesting. That's my one.
And a game to 11 if Spangled are going to run away with it.
Game to 11 if... I mean, they could almost say game to 10 if that's the case. If they score this one, I think even the most ambitious and hopeful of hurt players would think it's... We haven't scored 6 points all game. Can we really score 6 in a row?
Beach to Fur. And Nichols comes under. Or sorry, Attic. I've had him. Salvia hits the knees. And hard contact there. A blinded defender runs into Russell Fur.
I think he was chasing after Rocky Beach and just didn't quite see the angle that the other American player was coming in at. I think it might have been more of a blindside one. He did run into the back of the American player, so I think that was what it is. I don't think I'd put any blame on the American here. Just unfortunate collision.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with more from Sardinia.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my God! Somehow they do it!
incredible.
And we are back with a 9-5 lead. Spangled will retain the disc after the injury. Salvia goes to Attic. Attic to Beach. And Beach turns, fires, and knocked away. Hill, effective defense, lays out in the lane.
I mean, they butchered a bit of a lead yesterday. I don't think they're going to do it again today, but if Oort gets to 7, Spangled will get nervous.
Beach picks that one off to Beach, and there's Salvia. It'll be a game to 11. That makes it 10-5.
Yeah, 10-5 here, 8-5 down on the other field. I think we can say that it's probably going to be Natsuo and Spangled. Probably our most likely last round of the games today, which is kind of fitting given, in my eyes, it might be it has the potential to be the best game of the tournament. Chickenbacks maybe have something else to say about that if they were to get there also.
There's Peter Nia. He's got a device in that left hand there to keep the hands cool. He's got that's Peter Nia there on the sideline, does have a device in hand, which is a palm cooling device, the latest technology to cool the hands, reduce sweating and everything else that you would ever want to get yourself in performance shape. Peter's showing it off. I think it's called Cooler, but Kuler.
Yeah, I mean, he's here in his quarterfinal, going on to semi-final. I'm sure he knows what's useful and what's not. So give him the benefit of the doubt. Someone said it maybe a little like a beer bottle, but
yeah,
probably can't bring a beer bottle with you on a plane.
It's tougher to keep cold all the time.
Tougher to keep cold. So I can't say I have too much, but some of my casino work gets sweaty palms, so maybe I'll have to have a look at one of those and see how it deals with it. But Oort here going to have to get a break.
Zimmeral to Knowles and back to Zimmeral. And leading through, Kwok, well read, turns and makes the catch, dishes to Yearsley. Yearsley leads too far, picked off by Taylor. Now Monahan. Taylor sends deep, Wang the target, and it's too far for him.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate for him there on that last one. It looked like it was going to go a bit more left. I think if he could have anticipated the wind a bit more, I think he might have been able to run it down, but the wind did him no favors there. Just took it away at the end. And Oort going to stay alive a little bit longer. I believe it is game to 11, so...
Yes, it is definitely confirmed as a game to 11.
So Oort's season on the line every time that disc is in the air.
Zimmeral comes under. Well, Yearsley comes under for the Zimmeral throw. And the backhand has Zimmeral turned around much too high for Chewy to make a play. So Spangled with another chance to win.
Yeah, you get the feeling if they're going to I think they're only going to need 1 or 2 more chances to get this one. Again, it's kind of crosswind, but slight downwind favor as well. So
Monahan, the falling forehand break through Fry, DeZono, Wang, Fry getting separation. Wang, a great grab by DeZono. Up to their feet quick. And Monahan, and there is a conversation here. Is it between Zimmerl and Monahan? Or is it between DeZono and Chewy? I cannot confirm. It looks like DeZono and Chewy. DeZono faking, and then, oh, there it is! But not in. Wang makes a big play, and next one still not in. Taylor trying to find a seam. Still pivoting, leads for Monahan, and he falls in. That should do it. They're still unsure if it is in. That's game.
yeah, Canadians happy to accept the sideline US player saying that it was in, and they're going to give it.
And it is. Is it really? Is the question. Let's have. We might get another look at this. It is over. That is game. But here is that score. Oh yeah, that was in. So game over. Spangled will advance to the semifinals. Hurt relegated to the finals bracket. And we will get all that action later today. As Doc mentioned, some short break. It is 12:30 local time. We'll be back at 3, so
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. And then we will have a wonderful game in the 17th to 20 bracket. And then the 2 semis back to back. Let's see who gets through the other one.
Natsuo up by 2 at the moment, so still not comfortable, but I would imagine they would get through. In my opinion, they've been the best team this week, and now that I've seen Spangled, I think it's very hard to imagine Natsuo not winning the event, but you never know. You never know.
And with that, we've got another one in the books.
Game,
Congratulations to Spangled. Commiserations to Hurt. Semifinals coming soon. The other semi is over. Natsuo are through. It will be an all-U.S. final. All-U.S. semi-final later today. For John Doc, I've been Stefan Rapazzo. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch y'all next time.
Thanks.
Yeah, ultimate.
ULTI.TV.